What's going on, everyone? I am Steve from Burke Family 54 Comics, and in today's video we're going to be checking out some comic shops in Kansas City. As I'm here for the day, I'm hoping to see 2 to 3 shops. I know there's like a dozen or so to see. I can't see them all, but we're going to go ahead and try to go to a couple of them. So without further ado, let's go. All right, guys, so I am back at home. I had a great time in Kansas City. This would have been yesterday, as I went to 4 different comic shops. Every one of them were it was pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. Every shop had something different. The first shop was pretty cold when you walked in, which, you know, probably is not a bad thing considering it's like 100 degrees here every single day. They were more of like a new comic shop in terms of like new comic book day stuff. They had like almost every single issue that was new over the last couple months, which was awesome. They did have a few back issues as well. The second shop I went to, they were mostly back issue books. They had a lot of key books. They were the shop that asked me to just do photos instead of videos for their like highlights of the shop. I almost got their first printing of The Dark Knight Returns #1. I didn't know if it was like a 9.2, 9.4, 9.6. It's hard for me to tell, so that's why I decided not to get that. The third shop I went to was Elite Comics. I didn't have enough time to shoot anything other than just the front of the building. I had to go back and pick up my wife from her appointment. But, you know, they had lots of good books as well, lots of new comic book day books. They had them all out on the counter right there. They had lots of back issue books, lots of slabs, key issues, all of that. It's always a great shop. And then the last shop I went to was Nerdstalgia, which is actually where I picked up the 2 books that I want to talk about because I ended up spending $110. So I went in there as my wife was shopping at Costco, and I was like, okay, well, what do they have here? And I was looking at some of this stuff, and the first book was listed at $100, and I thought it was like an 8.0, 8.5, maybe 9.0 with the right grader. And he had a list for 100. I was going to offer him 80. I did ask that he take it out so I could take a look at the middle. When we did that, the guy did not take off the tape off the back, which I didn't even notice or think anything about it. as I was putting the book back into the bag, someone was talking to me, and I looked over to talk to him as I was putting it in, and the tape got right on the cover, and there ended up being a tape pull. We couldn't get it off without making a small tape pull, which is really frustrating because this is a beautiful cover, beautiful book. They knocked it down half price for that. Like, the guy actually didn't seem that upset about it, which is awesome, considering it was an accident. It was mostly my fault, obviously, but he ended up giving me this book for 50 bucks. And I've talked enough here. This is Forever People #1, the first full appearance of Darkseid. You guys can see the tape pull right there. Outside of that, though, I mean, like, the colors present nicely. I think it went from like an 8.0, 8.5 to probably like a 6, maybe a 6.5 with the right grader. But I still got it for 50 bucks. And that is right around a grade, around a 6.0 that I've been looking at recently. I've been talking to Dave from Mark Spector Comics about getting this book recently at some different auction houses. And I decided to get it there. Obviously, I wish it would have been, you know, the grade that it was without the tape pull. That was just an accident. It's pretty frustrating for him and me. I was going to offer 80. I'm sure he would have taken it. But I'm still happy to own the book. Still happy to own the book. And I felt bad. And so I decided to get this other book. Now, this was listed at 80. He gave it to me for 60. But I actually think I overpaid on this book because I did not ask to look at the inside or the back after the issues with the first book. I just like, hey, I'll take this. This ended up being lower grade than I had anticipated. This is probably like a 4 or 5, maybe a 6 with the right grader. I thought it was like a 7 or an 8, or even higher when looking at it on the wall. But this is New Gods #1, first appearance of Orion, Kalibok, Lightray, and the Parademons. So I ended up spending $110 total on these 2 DC keys. I don't know what I'm going to do with this book yet. I thought it was going to be higher grade, and I was planning on grading it. I will end up getting this graded regardless because it's a big DC key. I'm a big DC fan. Obviously, this is too, but I think this is a higher graded book. Nicer presenting, even without this thing right there. This one, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to keep it or sell it to try to get a different one, and just take a loss on the book. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I still had a lot of fun. I looked at some different shops. I had a good time. Again, I'm Steve from Burke Family 54 Comics. Let me know in the comments section what you guys think about today's video. What do you guys think about the whole tape pull fiasco? All of that and more. All right, guys, thanks for watching. And as always, go Cats!
Cowabunga! Scorpion time!